Okay, I'm so excited about sharing this. Let's talk about psychedelic integration. Have you ever wondered, like, after psychedelic experience, how do I actually integrate all of this, what I've experienced, all of these insights, all of these ideas, all of this newfound inspiration? And then after a couple days, you just find yourself like slowly slipping back into old habits, old routines, old ways of being, old ways of communicating. And you feel like it's so hard to grasp this psychedelic insight, the psychedelic experience that you've had, this grand opening. So in today's video, I want to talk about 5 steps you can take to truly embody your psychedelic insights on a day-to-day basis. And this is just like a tiny bit of a holistic transformational guide that I wrote that you can download down below for free. But here I'm so excited about sharing the foundations of this. Hey, I'm Virgo and this is Psychedelic Actualization. On this channel we talk about topics like self-realization, self-actualization and working with psychedelics to live a more authentic and fulfilling life. Step 1 in integrating your psychedelic experiences is looking at your physical environment, looking at the physical influencer, your body. Your body is a temple, right? It's the foundation for your life. It's this. Like even in psychedelic experiences, we get so far out and we expand our perspective to this all-encompassing consciousness and identifying ourselves with that broader, bigger picture, right? And that's beautiful, but we always come back to the body. We always come back to this vessel right here. And it's crucial for our integration, I guess, to look at this body, to see on a physical level, what can I do to ground myself, to integrate my experience, to really arrive and embody my insights, right? That's what it's about, embodiment. And a lot of integration work can be done on the physical body. One is grounding, as I mentioned. For example, walking barefoot is a practice I just love to do. And then really looking at the basics, like not overlooking them. For example, having a good sleep and good sleep routine. Having nurturing food that you're eating. Not this processed food with a lot of sugar and all kinds of other stuff that's in there, but like good, preferably organic, fresh fruits and vegetables. Like, are those in your diet? It's for a long time they weren't in mine, right? It's like it's these basic things that are basically fueling your body and fueling you with energy that can then be used to kind of crystallize your consciousness. I found when I have good sleep and I'm well rested and I eat clean, good food and I ground myself, I'm in nature, right? It's like my body feels good. When my body feels good, my consciousness is more clear. And my consciousness feels more like it's tapping into this psychedelic space. So that's one crucial aspect, the first step of the psychedelic actualization kind of framework of this workbook. Second one is look at your mental environment, look at your mental influencer. Everything that's on the mental level, thoughts and plans, and it's all this mental stuff. Beautiful integration work can be done on the mental level. Consciously looking at, okay, what insights do I get from this experience, and then kind of journaling about it, extracting them, getting your mind rolling, contemplating, right? It's like just like asking yourself all these questions and really reflecting as well, and really using the mind, not neglecting the mind, but using the mind to really develop an understanding of reality, which is open and flexible and it's just like it's moving with curiosity into all kinds of areas. That's fun, right? And that's a crucial part of integration as well. And moving on to the third one, looking at the emotional level. Maybe you notice you're like stronger in the physical or the mental, but then there is the emotional level as well. Or maybe you're stronger in the emotional level, but then, as I said, it's good to look at the mental and the physical level. And on the emotional level, there's like all these emotions that come up during a psychedelic experience at times, right? We're having this very emotional experience sometimes, and there's deep-rooted trauma coming up, and it's difficult to deal with that, and it's all these beautiful emotions. And then basically the process of integration for me is like to not, the tendency is for them to just like suppress them again and not feel them again. And that happens automatically, kind of unconsciously, it just happens. But to consciously keep them at the surface, for them to be present, to feel them. Beautiful way I've found is breath work to keep them going. Kind of, it's almost like a psychedelic practice, but without taking a substance. It's like getting high on your own supply, as Wim Hof said, right? It's like this, you're just breathing, heavy breathing sessions for 40 minutes or longer, to really be in touch with your emotions, keep them on the surface level, and feel them fully, embrace them fully. And if there's like deep stuff coming up, then of course you can look out and maybe even go to therapy. It's a wonderful way to process emotions. And there's so many other ways, right? So many other beautiful opportunities to really dig into your emotions. One way is also studying emotional intelligence, right? A lot of beautiful literature in that kind of area. Then looking at the next influencer, which is also vastly overlooked at times. It's the social influencer. Looking at your social environment. What does social integration mean? And you may be wondering and kind of noticing like, hey, all of these things, like, what are you telling me about psychedelic integration? How's that psychedelic integration? Those sound so basic. Yes, that's the whole point that I want to kind of bring across, is that psychedelic integration is life. It's not separate. The psychedelic experience and life itself, your life on all these levels and all these dimensions, it's not different, right? So basically these basic simple things are the most crucial parts of integration, right? And the social influencer, the social environment is one of these. Over the years, I've kind of now recognized the importance of community, of really being in communication with like-minded people, with people who get a sense of what you've been through, of where you're at, of what your perspective is on the world, right? And everyone has a different perspective. It's crazy. But with certain people, I feel this kind of resonance more. And the integration is a proactive act of going out and inviting those people in to your life. Opening yourself up for that internally, being able to embrace and receive that connection. And also externally, like going to events where like-minded people might hang out. If that's a temple, if that's a meditation retreat, if that's a psychedelic retreat, if that's an online community, right? All of these are options to just take up this courage and take this step out of your isolation into a sense of community. And it's wonderful. And the same goes also for the social integration of reflecting and feeling into the relationships that are present in your life. Because what I found with my coaching clients and a lot of people I talk to is it's hard for them to let go of certain relationships that are not in full alignment anymore with this new sense of self that is emerging out of psychedelic journeying and of this path of just like raising your awareness. And it might happen when you're on this path of self-actualization, self-realization, that you feel like certain relationships and connections are not aligned anymore. And then to really deeply reflect of like, hey, how do I really feel about this relationship now? And what can I do to communicate that to the other as well, how I'm feeling? That takes courage. That's true, true work, is having those tough conversations and saying like, hey, either I want to change the dynamic in our relationship, or I might retreat back a little bit. That's tough. That's the work of integration, having those conversations and seeking out the community. And that's just a tiny part of this social aspect, right? And lastly, the last point that I want to get to is also vastly overlooked with many people, and it's one I find quite beautiful and important, is the environmental factor, your environmental influencer. Because I noticed it's like, you even notice it in psychedelic space, that the setting, right? That's so much emphasis on the setting all the time. But why always just put the emphasis on the setting in the psychedelic experience? It's like, basically your environment is your setting for life, right? And to give that some awareness and attention, I found is crucial. Your room that you're living in, like, how do you feel in your room? How do you feel in your apartment, your house, the city you're living in, right? It's like, there is a freedom to refine and improve your environment in a way that feels more aligned to you. If you're like, oh, city is too much for me, it's too loud and noisy and too many people, I prefer to be in nature, then you might want to make some plans to move into nature or move closer to that aligned environment, right? And that's totally possible. It might be hard. You might find all kinds of excuses on why you can't do this, because your job is here, your relationship is there, I gotta be there and connect. It's like, no. It's like when your psychedelic experience is showing you like, oh, I had this deep desire for nature, to be more in nature, and it's just like, it's not accessible for you in your day-to-day. Then make some plans to change your environment. And also on the smaller scale, as I said, improve and refine the environment that you're in right now. Bring plants, that's what I did. Bring plants into your home. I have, like, right behind the camera, I have 20 to 30 more plants. It's almost like a jungle here. And I realized that from my LSD experience. When I first moved in, I had an LSD experience here in this room. And and there was no plants around. And I was feeling so weird. I was like, I don't know, man. I need plants. Like, there's something missing here. And then the next day, I went out and spent $400 on plants and pots, which was not the best idea because I could have gotten them cheaper. But hey, nevertheless, since then, I have all these babies here that I'm taking care of. So that's the last point. Environmental influencer. Have a look at this. If you want to go deeper into all of these aspects and also the pitfalls of what's present for each of them, because there's so many pitfalls, which we're also going to talk about more, then download the free guide below. There's a link in the video description and in the comments, and you can dive deeper into all of this. I hope this was helpful. I hope this was like, there's a new awareness arising now for you to deepen your understanding of psychedelic integration, right? To say like, hey, all of these influences, the physical, the mental, the emotional, the social, the environmental, and I forgot the spiritual. Holy shit. And the spiritual, right? Look at your spiritual influence. I'll leave it out for now. Meditation, contemplation, self-inquiry, studying traditions and scriptures. It's a crucial one. Look at your spirituality. It's a core one. All of these are basic aspects of our life, right? And that is our work of integration. That's it. There's nothing more to this. It's like, we like to overcomplicate it at times, but to really break it down, it's just to look at all these areas of your life. identify small little things that you want to change and then take action. Have the courage to take action. To move towards that more aligned version of yourself that you've experienced in psychedelic journeys. And then do all that with the background awareness of compassion. Not judging yourself. Really moving with ease into this version of yourself. Not struggling to then change the habits. Because also a lot of people I talk to, they struggle to integrate, right? It's like with this sense of self-forgiveness and compassion, you can let go of that sense of struggle and then just truly feel how and where you can move into that potential that you already know is there. So that's about it. Also, inspiration for this book, for this video, was also the book Consciousness Medicine, Indigenous Wisdom, Entheogens and Expanded States of Consciousness for Healing and Growth. That's a long title from Francois Bourgeois. Great book. It's simple, basic, to the core. Basically, a lot of what I talked about. Great book. I can recommend you that one. If you feel like you want to take it a step deeper and you would like to work with me one-on-one on your psychedelic integration of really identifying what's most challenging for you and then developing step-by-step action plans, you can book a clarity call, a one-on-one call with me where we'll go over your psychedelic integration roadmap and see how we might resonate to work together. The link is also in the video description. Thank you very much for watching. I appreciate you all and enjoy your psychedelic integration. Much love.